Okay, we're going to get started in just a few minutes, so feel free to grab your coffee. You might want a little pen too to take some notes if you're going to hear about some great things. Everyone, I know I'm not big on your screen, but I'm over here on the side. You'll be able to see me. Hope you have your coffee in your hand, and welcome to Coffee with Kendall this morning. Some of the other team is on here as well, so you'll have to scroll through so you can say hi to them. We are so happy to share some exciting news with you this morning about our 2024 winter annual. We have chosen it. We are already booking folks on, and it's going to be a great trip. If you have not already booked to join us for 2023, we still have space available on our February 19th trip on the Beyond. So make sure that if you're interested, you reach out to us so that you can join our entire team. Yes, the entire team is going to be hosting you in 2023 on board. And so today we have Karen Kugler with us with Celebrity Cruises, and she is going to share all the exciting details with you. So Karen, take it away.
Thanks, Kendall. Well, good morning, everyone. As Kendall said, my name is Karen Kugler, and I'm with Celebrity Cruises, and it is our absolute delight to host not only your 2023, but your 2024 winter annual cruise. You know, going to the Caribbean in the winter, and it's so much fun today to have a little bit of cool weather to start off with. I know it's the first touch that we've had, but everybody put yourself in that January, February time frame, and we're all going to be cold, and we're all going to be over it and ready to get out and have some nice warm opportunity. And what better way to do that than to join the Grant Travel team on a Caribbean cruise. So very, very excited that Grant Travel has chosen the Celebrity Ascent, a brand new ship that's not even out. She's still in the shipyard right now, to be your vessel of choice for your 2024 winter annual cruise. Now, this cruise will be cruising the Eastern Caribbean. It will be from February 25th through March 3rd. Now, you can see the itinerary over to the right. It is a round trip Fort Lauderdale, so easy access to Fort Lauderdale. It's a quick flight. If you've gone in and out of Fort Lauderdale before, you know that the airport to the pier is just, a 10-minute drive. It's just so easy to get in and out of. We're going to take a look at some of these ports real quick, so buckle your seatbelt. I've got some things to cover here, and if you have any questions, we'll just try and address those at the end of the session here. So as I mentioned, this will be on Celebrity Ascent. This is a mock-up of the ship because she is still in the shipyard. She comes out in December of 23. So when you guys are cruising on her in February of 24, she will still be brand new. I like to say she'll still have that new ship smell. Everything will be just crisp and sparkling and just so incredible. Now, because we have not done a lot of reveals on this ship yet, there will be a lot of things that I don't have to share with you today, but I do want to share with you some of the things that I know will be there because she is a sister ship to Celebrity Edge, Apex, and Celebrity Beyond. This entire Edge series of ships have been designed to be very outward facing, to bring the outside inside. We want to be sure whether you're out on deck or you're inside the ship, you have just beautiful scenery around you all the time. There are so many light, open, airy, bright areas on this ship, whether you're in public areas or whether you're in your stateroom. You're going to have an opportunity to connect with the sea no matter what part of the ship you're on. How about this? If anybody is interested, this is our iconic suite. There are a couple of them on these ships. I would be delighted to help you host a party in your iconic suite, 2,600 square feet, and that's part of our retreat area. But lots of other options besides just the iconic suite there. This beautiful 2-bedroom suite will accommodate 6, and as I said, we can set up for private cocktail parties. So I know we would be just over the moon to help you arrange anything you like when you're on board Celebrity Ascent, or any of our ships for that matter. So we have a variety of different options for you in the retreat. We have the iconic suite. We have our beautiful edge villas that are 2-story with the bedroom upstairs with a full bath. And look at that bed, it's outward facing. So as you sleep at night, you look straight out onto the sea. Then you have the full living room downstairs and dining room, and a full bath downstairs as well. Again, we'll just take a peek at this. This is our penthouse suite. There are so many different options for you. Our celebrity suite in here. And then this, our celebrity suite is really, really unique because it is kind of the entry level into that separate area. Though it doesn't have a bedroom door, it has an area that's closed off and for you to able to just separate yourself from the living area and the dining area within the suite. But the one thing that I really want to remind you about is whether you're in a sky suite or all the way up to the iconic suite, when you're in our retreat there, you have access to some wonderful areas that are very, very private and unique to our retreat guests. Those areas have public areas that you're able to enjoy, but they also have, they're exclusive, as I mentioned, to our retreat guests. This would be the pool deck area. You've got a private pool area, you have lounge areas, cabanas, and so forth. And of course, our retreat guests always have access to the highest level of amenities on board our ship. You have the premium beverage package, you have onboard credit to spend on your shore excursions, your tips are prepaid, you have streaming Wi-Fi, you've got this beautiful restaurant, Luminae, which is exclusive, again, to our retreat guests. It has its own unique menu for items that aren't served anywhere else on the ship. However, I'm always quick to say that if you've got to have our signature creme brulee or the escargot, or you see something on the menu in the main dining room, you have full access to those menus as well. So lots of private areas and lots of beautiful areas for you to enjoy on board Celebrity Ascent. Now, a standard stateroom on board Celebrity Ascent would include our infinite verandas. Now, I want to be sure that you understand exactly what these staterooms look like. It looks like a very small, narrow, but that's just the camera there. They're lovely, lovely staterooms. The bathrooms are gorgeous. They're marble and chrome and just open and airy. But the infinite veranda was something that we introduced on board Celebrity Edge. I'm going to try and show you guys a video real quick about the infinite veranda so you kind of understand the concept behind it.
We've replaced all of this structure with essentially nothing.
This engineering feat allowed for the creation of the new Edge staterooms with infinite veranda that are 23% larger than Celebrity's current veranda staterooms.
What I wanted to achieve here was to try and create lots of different experiences. I think in the Edge stateroom, when you walk in, you're going to know there's a difference. And for me, it was about coming up with sort of light bulb moment of creating the studio so that you could have these kind of glass partition doors that opened where you could actually then have your terrace as part of your living space. I think we created something unique in the cruise industry.
So I wanted to be sure that you understand that we have infinite verandas, we have standard verandas, we have, of course, our beautiful retreat area. You have a wide option of opportunity to book different accommodations. I know that Brant is very good at also including aqua class staterooms as well as our concierge class staterooms in the inventory that they save for their groups exclusively. And remember too, the pricing that they have is pricing that is oftentimes much better than what we have at our standard rates, and they have many additional amenities. And we'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end. So again, our itinerary is round trip from Fort Lauderdale. You'll board the ship in Fort Lauderdale. We always encourage you to come in a day early just because nobody knows what's going to happen with the airlines nowadays. There are so many delays and so forth. The last thing you want is to be stressed out when you start your cruise. So come on in a day early, enjoy what's going on in Fort Lauderdale. There are a lot of things to see and do in Fort Lauderdale. A lot of people think it's just a spot to hop on board a ship, but there's lots of cool things that you can do while you're there. And enjoy your day ahead of time before you board your ship. Your first day, of course, will be a day at sea, and then your first port will be San Juan. Now, we're all aware that San Juan has just been hit pretty hard by a series of different hurricanes over the last couple of years. I will say, because tourism is 100% of their economy, there is so much that they do to restore things quickly, and it's such a charming port. I'll be anxious to see as they come back with the recovery, no matter whether you like beach activities, you like strolling the streets, seeing some of the old fortresses there. Great spot for culinary as well. I like to share with people that my favorite restaurant in the Caribbean is in San Juan, and that's the Metropole, and it's easy walking distance from the port. Great Cuban cuisine, just love that area. From San Juan, you will then go to the British Virgin Islands and the island of Tortola. This is where Cane Garden Bay is. Great area again for beach activities, good relaxation time. No matter what you want to do, you have that opportunity, and it's fun to be in the BVI. I love this part of the Caribbean because it's so pristine and it's so clean and neat, and I love hanging out in that area. Real easy to get around to some of the other islands there. There's a lot of transfer opportunities. You can do them by catamaran. We have shore excursions that will allow you to go over to Yost Van Dyke, or you can visit the baths, which is kind of the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. Lots of different options for you in Tortola. From there, we go on to St. Kitts and Nevis. Again, just a lovely spot. Lots of different geographic terrain in the St. Kitts area, as well as Nevis. Nevis, is just a very short hop over from St. Kitts, whether you want to do the rum factories or the old sugar mills, or you want to do your shopping. Just a lot of good opportunity within this area. Now, Caribbean cruises are really about just laying back and decompressing and enjoying what's around you. We then have a day at sea and then back to Fort Lauderdale, and it's just a really nice relaxation time and time to get away when the weather is bad in the U.S. But if you want to do something that has a little bit more activity, you've got a lot of history in this area. There's another great opportunity for you with Grant Travel and one of their groups, and this is on the beautiful Celebrity Apex. Now, Apex is a sister ship to Ascent that we just spoke about. She's been in service for about a year, a little over a year now, a year and a half. And this itinerary is one of our most popular in our portfolio, especially, it's been very popular for 2022, and I know it'll be just over the top for 2023. It is a round trip Amsterdam departure, and you can see the primary areas, countries that you will be visiting are Iceland and Ireland, but the stops are just wonderful. So again, we always recommend, please go in at least one day early. And Amsterdam is a great port city. There's a lot to do there. It is, the Venice of the North, all the canals. The city is just the most biker-friendly city in the world. If you wanted to take the traditional bike tours, you can do that, or you can have you can do a tour on the e-bikes, which are very easy and a lot of fun. You get to see a lot of things. They can take you out out of the city area, and you get to see a lot. But Amsterdam is really known for its architecture, its canals, and its beauty. You have the Anne Frank House, the Van Gogh Museum, just lots and lots of things and areas to see. And then from there, you go to Akureyri in Iceland. This is Iceland is all about the outdoors. It's a very vibrant country that has a love affair with outdoor activities. The scenery in this country is unbelievable. And this stop is actually kind of the gateway to a lot of the natural wonders. You have the opportunity to do hiking, to go see the waterfalls, the mountain fjords. They're all available to you. They also have some of the turf houses still around that kind of are very well preserved from how life was in Iceland in the 1800s. Great botanical gardens there, and they have some churches throughout the country, not just in this port, that are really very, very world renowned. Or you may want to take a stop at the Christmas house and check it out while you're there. From there, we have another stop in Ísafjörður in Iceland. Again, the landscape in this area is magnificent. Many, many opportunities for outdoor activities as well here. Good area for whale watching, biking, hiking, kayaking, horseback riding, photo safaris that they have in this area, believe it or not. Just good chances to see and spend some time outside. And I will tell you, the one thing that you need to remember when you go to Iceland is that even though the temperatures are very mild, in fact, they don't have a day over 80 degrees in this area year round, even with the climate change that's going on. You want to take good sun protection. Wear a hat in this area because the sun is very intense, and you do want to spend some time outside exploring this area. Your final stop in Iceland will be in Reykjavik. This is kind of this is the capital, and it's the center for the government area. But this Reykjavik is also a huge foodies stop. If you really, really enjoyed the culinary scene, Reykjavik is a great, great place, whether it's seafood or trying some of the traditional Icelandic dishes. Of course, the Blue Lagoon is well known in this area for the thermal hot springs. Great way, and everybody needs to go at least stick their toe in, but it's fun just to go and immerse yourself fully in that. So Iceland is a great stop. You'll have a day at sea, and then you will be on to Ireland. Glasgow, of course, is a very, very renowned port. Very renowned city, but the port city is Greenock there, and it's about 23, 24 miles from Greenock into Glasgow. So you have the opportunity, if you choose, to stay in the Greenock area. There's plenty of things to do in that area. They've got the Scottish Fire and Rescue Museum, the Watt Institution, which is just the Scottish and British art there. The Burrell Collection. Now, in this area, that Burrell Collection was probably one of the largest art collections that was ever donated to an area, and it's in the world. And it's everything from Chinese art over 5,000 years old to a magnificent stained glass collection. Just a lot of things that you're able to go, and you could spend your entire day in there. But there's plenty of things to see and do, so you'll kind of want to get out and spend some time as well. Then on to Belfast. Again, a lot of history in this area. The Titanic Museum is there because the Titanic was actually built in Belfast. There's a memorial garden that's very, very interesting to see. Beautiful churches and cathedrals throughout the entire country. There's also the C.S. Lewis Square that they have all the statues that are dedicated to the characters from the C.S. Lewis novels. And of course, nobody can go to Ireland, without visiting some of the pubs. We have pub tours. You can visit them on your own. There's just a lot of chance to really partake of some of the local brews and beverages in that area. And then the final stop would be Cork, Ireland. There's a lot of history, as I mentioned, in this area. The Gaels in this area, or the jails, are really kind of fascinating. It's a very macabre scenario and scene to go in, but it's got so much history. And the tours that you can do to some of the Gaels are very, very fascinating. You can't go to this area without going to the Blarney Castle and kissing the Blarney Stone. It's much easier to do nowadays than it was whenever I did it the first time. 40 years ago, you actually had to basically stand on your head, and there weren't the handrails going down. They've got those now, so it's a pretty cool area to go and see. And then, of course, the English market is is not just about going in and finding things to purchase. It's just kind of a great immersion in the local culture. It's fun to go to places like that and really see what all of the people in that area do and kind of how they spend their time and how they shop. And it's so very different than what we do in the States. So it's fun when you're in those areas to take an opportunity to visit some of those areas. And then, of course, you have your return to Amsterdam. So whether you do a pre or a post, please consider spending some time. When you make that trek to Europe, you've got that long flight going, of course, so why not maximize your time while you're there? Grant Travel not only can book you on the cruises, but they can also do your land vacation if you want to add a couple of days before or after. And you're not exclusive to the Netherlands. You have the opportunity to visit some other areas while you're in Europe as well. Now, I'd like to close with a couple of things, some reminders and some offers there. When you book your cruise, your celebrity cruise with Grant Travel, their group space has our all-included amenities. And those amenities are our classic beverage package, which is not just about adult beverages, though it does include adult beverages. It's also about your specialty coffees and your bottled waters and your teas and your fresh squeezed juice and things like that. That's included. Your Wi-Fi is included. Your tips are included. And then Grant does a wonderful job of having their own surprise and delight moments for special things that they include in every group that they book there. So in addition to those amenities, because you have taken time to spend a little bit of time with us today, if you choose to go on the winter annual, whether it's the 2023 or the 2024, or maybe to Europe, or maybe to South America, or some other time in the Caribbean, anything that you book through Grant Travel between today and November 2nd, in addition to the all-included amenities, you will receive a bonus $100 onboard credit. Now, you just need to call any of the ladies at Grant Travel. They're very familiar with this. They know how to book with Celebrity. They can answer your questions or get them answered for you. And again, you will be receiving that $100 onboard credit. I would also like to share that if you are a veteran, active duty military, or in our first responders, a first responder in the U.S. currently, we have special savings that are available to you. And that applies to every departure that we have. It ranges, and it is a per person savings. It ranges in tiers up depending on whether you're in an inside ocean view or a veranda stateroom. So know that that is available to you. And then I will finally close before questions with the reminder that we do have reciprocity with our sister company, Royal Caribbean International. If you are a frequent cruiser with Royal Caribbean and Crown and Anchor Society, whatever level you are with Crown and Anchor Society, we will have reciprocity and recognize you at a similar level with Celebrity Cruises. So all you need to do is just remind the Grant Travel team that you are a Crown and Anchor Society member, and they will put that number in, and that will be recognized by Celebrity. And we will just be delighted to welcome you on board and just lavish all kinds of wonderful things on you. And with that, I will say thank you and ask if we left 5 minutes for questions, Kendall.
That's great. Thank you so much, Karen. And so in order to get that $100 onboard credit, by booking between now and November 2nd, if you reach out and you just tell the team, I love Celebrity Cruises, we'll know that you were on today. So you have to say it. It's not embarrassing. We all do love Celebrity Cruises. So you can, I'm telling you, someone just texted me a moment ago, Kendall, I love Celebrity. And yep, you're on my list. I will make sure you get your $100 onboard credit for that new booking. So if you do have a question for us, you can feel free to unmute yourself and we'll take any of those.
Oh, this is a quiet group.
Yeah, we must have done a wonderful job of explaining everything.
Okay, well, I certainly want to respect your time. I will say, guys, don't forget, we have all 15 of our ships back in service. The protocols have basically been reduced to nothing on board. We're very excited about that. It's just, there's never been an easier time to cruise than there is right now. And right now, while these ships aren't completely at capacity, is a wonderful time to get on board. It's like being treated with that extra special amount of attention and service, and we just appreciate every one of you and look forward to welcoming you on board in the very near future.
Yes, and I know, Karen, that some of these folks have not been able to cruise in some time and are anxious to go away even next month or in December. Can you speak to that? Do we have space out there?
Absolutely, and thank you for that reminder. There is a lot of space. I will tell you, the holidays are a little bit tight, but up between now and I would say about the 15th of December or the early January time, then again, when we get into that kind of President's Day, it gets a little bit tight, Valentine's Day, President's Day. But then when you get into that March and April time frame, if they're interested in going into the Caribbean, there's some wonderful space available. A lot of that is due to the number of ships, not just our brand, but across the world, the number of brands that have chosen to stay a little bit closer to home. So we've got a lot of ships out there, and with those lot of ships comes a lot of capacity. And so there's a wonderful opportunity for people to be on board, as I mentioned, on these ships when they're much, much less crowded than they may have been in the past. And that brings me to another point, Kendall. One of the things that's a little bit different about Celebrity than other brands is even when we're at 100% capacity, we will typically have one crew member for every 2 guests on board. And even though our ships are large ships, in there, we typically hold about 20 to 25% fewer guests, even fully loaded, than what ships of a comparable size would be. So we're the brand that gives you a little bit more elbow room. If you're in the public areas, we try to give you, even though our ships could hold from 2,000 to 3,000 guests, we have a lot of very intimate areas that you can go that you don't feel like you're just in that that cattle call or that bumping elbows with everybody in there. So that is one thing that we love. So hopefully you'll get an opportunity to experience that personally.
Yes. And, you can't say enough about Celebrity service, and that's been consistent all the way through. So we all love the cruise life, and then we have to come back to real life and make your own bed and make your own meals. And boy, is that not any fun. So I'm looking forward to the taste of cruise life here real soon. But again, thank you all for joining for our Coffee with Kendall this morning. And thanks to you, Karen, for joining us. If you have any friends that didn't get a chance to see, we did record the session today. And so we'll be telling you another text. This is so exciting. I know you guys are ready to go, and so are we. Take care and have a great day.